Welcome back to the Hexagon Challenge. In today's episode, we have our last game our last two games in the Champions League group. Since you last left us, we've been doing pretty well. We've won pretty much every game except the last two where we lost to Etihad in the league and drew with Damak. We're still in the cup. We are much better in the league now. We're up to second, so things are going much more as you would expect for us. Still a little bit behind Al Ittihad, who are unbeaten. We did beat them in the cup, though, so we are still in the cup, probably one of the best teams left in the cup. So hopefully we can do a bit better there in that this year than we did last year. But yeah, Champions League has been going well. We've won all 4 games. So realistically, if we win today, we will have qualified because, if we beat these, we'll be 3 points clear of Al Wada. Yeah, and I imagine, we've got one game left against them, so I guess it's not really wrapped up. We do have a cup game. We'll play that off camera. We'll do that in between. And this is the team we're going with. It is pretty much our Champions League squad right now. We pretty much play the same 11 unless there's an injury. We're sticking with the 4-2-3-1. I found that chopping and changing the tactic was leading to mixed results, so just sticking with the one tactic because this is what we use for the Champions League. Was what we've been using in the league. Use that in the Champions League, and it's been going pretty well. So this is the team we've got. We've got Akfeld in goal, back four of Alanetti, Hassan, Diamande and Fakihi, Otabi and Shergi in midfield, Palmer, Kangin Lee and Salem in the attacking mid positions, and then Trizoldi up top. Again, Zerhouni and Hoffman miss out. Al-Shamari is injured, so he misses out. But yeah, we've pretty much just been playing this. Salem's been coming in on the left for Hoffman, and we've had to play a left back at right back. But to be fair, we've been pretty good. So it's not really caused any issues for us whatsoever. So yeah, we will win this. If we do win and Al Wada don't win their game, which you would expect they would do, if they don't win their game, then we will have actually qualified already. I think we'll qualify anyway if we win this, just by being, even if we lost the last game, we'd still be this, one of the best second place sides. So realistically, I think a win here qualifies us regardless, and obviously on the last day we just have to not lose. So that would get us into the round of 16. I don't know if it's one leg, two leg. I assume it's 2 legs. Hopefully the final's just 1 leg. I know in Africa it was a 2-legged final. I never like that. I think that's always a little bit stupid. I know that a lot of finals back in the day were 2-legged, and I think like FA Cup used to be a replay. Like if you drew the final, they would just replay it on another day, which I think is absolutely crazy. We do go 1-0 up there. Kangin Lee gets his goal, assist from Sherky. I've been playing him more in the middle rather than on the wing, and he's been much better. I think he's potentially not as quick enough to play on the wing anymore, so I've been playing Palmer and Hoffman on the wing, playing Kangin Lee down the middle instead of Hoffman down the middle, and he's been much better than when we first played him, when he was straight on the left. Salem down the left-hand side, swings it into Trizoldi. He's been unbelievable. I was a little bit concerned about replacing Huskovic just because he has scored so many. Trizoldi's been better. He's been unbelievable. That's his 21st goal of the season. We're only about halfway through the season, if that. So yeah, he's been unbelievable. Another goal for him. Makes it 2-0. Diamande on the header. Usman Diamande. Assist from Kangin Lee. It's 3-0. I think that's job done. I think we've qualified. So we would never worry too much about the group when we were looking at it. Looking at the other groups, it seems like it's pretty Saudi heavy. So Damak atop of their group. Al Ittihad atop of their group. I think there'll be one more because I think there's 4 Saudi teams that go in. It's 4 in the league, except unless the cup winners aren't in the top 4, which I imagine they probably were most seasons. But yeah, we'll check that other group. But it looks like it is going to be pretty much the best Saudi teams go through, and then probably once we get to about the quarters or semi-finals, it'll probably just be mostly Saudi teams left. Hopefully we play teams outside of Saudi, because I think it'll be more interesting to play teams from the UAE or Qatar or wherever. A little bit more exciting than just playing the same. And then obviously the final, you'll play the best team from the other side of Asia, so probably a team most likely from Japan. It seems like Hiroshima have won it quite a few times recently, so could be them, could be someone else, who knows. But usually it's a Japanese team, and if not, it's like a Korean team. So I do think it'll be interesting to see how big the gap is between Japan and Saudi if we do play a Japanese team in the final, if we can get to the final, that is. Just because it's like they're first in Asia, but are they that much better? I don't know. I imagine like our superstars are better than their best players, but their squad players are much better than ours. So we'll see. I imagine their Japanese players are better than our Saudi players, but our superstars will hopefully carry us through. I mean, they've done pretty well today, so I feel like if we can keep up this run, if we can keep Tresoldi fit the whole season, I think we can win the Champions League. I really do. I think the tough games are going to be against the other Saudi teams. I think hopefully we can avoid Al Ittihad. That would be the big one. It is 4-0. If we can avoid Al Ittihad, that would be good. I think it's it's ABBA. ABBA are the other Saudi team. They're first in their group, but they're not running away with it as much as the rest of them are. Al Ittihad, ourselves, and Damak have all won all of our games. So that just shows you the gap between us and the rest of our side of Asia. So the east side, East Asia. Yes? No, it'd be West. It would be West. Hang on. East would be Japan. Yeah. West would be us, I think. I hope. Yeah, it is, because West would be like near Turkey, Greece, and then you just go a little bit over and you've got that kind of part of Asia. No, what am I talking about? That's Africa. My geography, I'm really sure, like Iran and stuff. Are they in Asia? They are Asian, aren't they? Yeah, Iran and then, Saudi. That's definitely Asia. I was getting confused thinking of like Egypt and Morocco being Africa, but no, it's down that way and further over, but still in the west of Asia. You've got your Saudi, Iran, Qatar, all that good stuff. Anyway, Salem down the left-hand side, racing forward, swings one in to Lee Kang-in Lee. He gets his 11th goal of the season, 5-0 to Al Ahly. Brilliant stuff. This has been a whitewash. I mean, these two have been absolutely battered by us and Al Wada. So I think it's 3 out of the 5 in each group will go through in the second place. So Al Wada probably still be one of the ones qualifying, even if we beat them on the last day. But I think that pretty much makes us qualified. So what we're going to do, actually, instead of playing the last group game, because I think we're through. I think it's pretty obvious we're going to go through. It hasn't confirmed it yet, because I guess we could still lose and they could beat us by loads of goals. I doubt it. Is it goal difference? No, it's results between teams, and we've already beat them once. So if they beat us, it would be level. Then it would be goal difference. So yeah, they'd have to really beat us. I don't see it happening. They'd have to beat us like 3-0, 4-goal swing. So if they won 2-0, it'd be level. So yeah, they'd need to beat us like by 3 goals. So I'm not worried about it. I think we're through. So what I'm going to do actually is we'll play that one off camera. We'll actually just play the King's Cup. We'll play a cup game against Al Shabaab because we're still in the cup. So we'll play the cup game, and that'll be our second game of the episode. And we'll do this off camera, and then next episode we'll come back for the knockouts, because there's no way we're not qualifying. And if we don't, then I'll show you it. But I think even if we lost that game and somehow we ended up finishing second, we'd absolutely be one of the best teams in second with 15 points. So we're qualified. We're not technically qualified, but we are qualified. So we're going to go play Al Shabaab in the cup, because that'll be more interesting than seeing us beat another team when we've already won all 5 in the cup. So for our second game of the episode, we are playing Al Shabaab in the cup. The only difference in the teams is Hoffman's come in for Salem, who's dropped to the bench, and then Zerhouni's come in on the right-hand side. Obviously, there's no rules on stuff like this in the cup. Obviously, in the league, it's just 8 foreign players. One thing I've been noticing just behind the scenes is my face cam keeps like freezing for some reason whenever I'm near the end of whenever I'm moving around the menus. So I'll need to try and keep an eye on that. But yeah, if it ever just freezes, apologies. I think the audio still comes through, but it's because obviously I'm recording that through the microphone rather than the webcam, but the webcam does seem to freeze. If anyone knows like anything about that stuff to try and fix that kind of issue, then please let me know. I've had a look. It couldn't really see a real reason for it. It just seemed to be sometimes it can happen, and yeah, I'm not technical enough with this kind of setup stuff to know really what it is. So if anyone's got any advice, I'll keep looking to hopefully find out a reason. But yeah, it seems like when I'm clicking around the menus, and like when I'm playing in the game in the match engine, it's fine, but then as soon as I'm clicking around the menus, maybe like processing stuff, it just seems to like freeze. It's really weird. So yeah, if anyone knows anything about that kind of stuff, then that would be really helpful if you could share that. Axfeld's got away one massively there, just about keeps it out. Still 0-0 there. Obviously, we would like to win the cup. It's not a big priority, but just to win another trophy would be good. I genuinely think we could win the Champions League in this continent without ever winning the league, which would be a first for the series, and I think it would be probably the first I've ever done in Football Manager ever. I don't think I've ever won like the UEFA Champions League and then not won the Premier League. I feel like winning the league is easier than the Champions Leagues because, but also I've never actually managed outside of Europe. I don't think. I think I managed in some like off camera, like just ones I've done in my own life. I think I managed in South Africa for a little bit with if anyone remembers, there used to be like an African Ajax team. I did that for a bit, like an academy challenge thing. It didn't really last that long. It wasn't that fun. Other than that, I don't think I've really managed outside of Europe. I've done obviously on this channel, I've done England and then the European Journeyman. So this is the first time we've really gone about, haven't we? Going all over the place. So I do feel like it's all kind of the same, to be honest, no matter where you are, you just have to watch out for league rules and stuff like that. That's the only thing that can catch you out. So I think for the Hexagon Challenge, you've just got to be quite tactical with which countries you pick. I don't think there's any point in going to countries where the foreign rules are really strict. Obviously in Saudi it's not too bad. You get 8 foreign players in the 11, so you can pretty much make a super team off that with how ridiculous the money is in Saudi. But like Japan and stuff, it's like the players might be better, so it's also a good choice. Korea, a decent one as well. But yeah, I mean, it's just interesting, but obviously there's not as much money there. Still 0-0 in this, not really much going on. I think if we were to get past this, we would have a good chance of winning it because these are probably one of the better teams left in the competition, us and these. So whoever wins this has probably got a good chance of going at least to a semi-final. Whereas Al Ittihad, we knocked them out in the last round. We got them very early. Kang In Lee hits the crossbar or the post. It would hit the woodwork in some fashion. We've had 9 shots and not a single one on target. I think we've hit the woodwork a lot today. Players are a little bit tired. There's been a lot of fixtures. There's also been like internationals as well. This happened last season where internationals just come in and absolutely decimated the squad. Thankfully, it's not been as bad this year because I've kept a more keen eye on who's going away on international duty to try and withdraw them. But Palmer swings one into Shirky, who does well to keep it, to be fair. Thought he was brought down, but he isn't. Still got the ball, has Ray and Shirky. Plays it back to Fakihi, who finds Alatabi. I thought he was going to have a shot himself. Zaruni now needs to find an option. Doesn't. Is brought down. I thought it looked like a decent challenge to me, but 30 minutes to go, but could be potentially a penalty on our hand. Look at how small our bench is. We just don't have any depth. Maybe I should be keeping more of the Saudi youngsters just to keep them as depth, but no penalty given. It didn't look like a penalty. I was wondering what all the fuss was about. It did look like a corner, though, not a goal kick. I think we need VAR on that, not the penalty shout. But nevertheless, it is still 0-0. I don't know what would happen if it goes to... They've got Adam Wharton in their team. That's mad. I think I've noticed him before. Yeah, I don't know what happens if it goes to maybe just extra time or something. I don't know. We've still yet to have a shot on target. This is worrying. Trizoldi not having a great game, but he's still Trizoldi, so we'll leave him on. But yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world if we get knocked out, but I would like to win it. It's just, yeah, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, the goal is the Champions League. But if we could win more trophies, then that just purely helps our reputation. So when we do move to our next continent, which we've already discussed, we're going to do a sort of combo of North and South America, just because there's only a couple countries. Kang In Lee, oh, it's a brilliant chance for him. That is a brilliant chance for Kang In Lee to get a goal. He's one-on-one, basically, and he doesn't take it. That is poor. We've still not had a shot on target. Yeah, wow. Well, we're going into extra time, it looks like. Or maybe not. There's a very late highlight. But yes, once we do finally, well, not finally, we've only just really arrived in Asia. We've not been here that long. But once we do conquer the Asian Champions League, we will move on. Oh, that's poor. That is shocking. I think there's some match fixing going on there, lads. That was dodgy. I don't know what I don't know anything. But if the owners are doing anything dodgy behind the scenes, that's not on me. That looked very dodgy. The goalkeeper passes it straight to Cole Palmer. Finishes it off, 93rd minute winner. We're through in the cup. I mean, if there was ever match fixing going on, that looked like it. Wow, that was dodgy. But no match fixing, just really, really poor goalkeeping. So we'll leave it there. We will come back for the Champions League round of 16, I think it is. Is that right? Yeah, it's called the second round, but it's the round of 16. 16 teams left, so... Is it 2 legs? Or is it just 1 game? Doesn't say. Does it say? Doesn't say. Don't think it says. It could be 2 legs. I don't know. It seems like it is because it's a start date and end date. So I think that, yeah, I think it'll be 2 legs. So, yeah, we'll come back for that. We'll play these off camera, any league games and stuff. We'll come back for that second round, round of 16, whatever it is. And yeah, you'll find out who we're playing then. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Hexagon Challenge, and I'll see you all for more very soon.